On behalf of AFC First, Peoples Gas, North Shore Gas, Nicor Gas, and ComEd, welcome to this information session about the Illinois Small Business Energy Efficiency Loan Program. During this presentation, we'll do a brief round of presenter introductions and then get right into discussing the features and benefits of on-bill financing for your small business customers. We'll also run through the process and requirements in order to apply for and obtain on-bill financing for a small business energy efficiency improvement. You'll hear from Bob Gregler at AFC First, the lender providing customer loans within the ComEd, Peoples Gas, and North Shore Gas Small Business Energy Savings Program, and the Nicor Gas Small Business Energy Efficiency Program. Program implementers Franklin Energy Services and Nexent Inc. also assist in the on-bill financing process. I'm Caitlin Dorsey from Franklin Energy, and you'll be hearing a little later from Chris McCabe at Nexent. We are all here to help you. If you have any questions after viewing this presentation, get in touch with any of us. There are a number of resources available for trade allies to assist their customers in obtaining on-bill financing for their energy efficiency improvements. These include an approved contractor application and checklist. Customer brochures are also available for each utility energy efficiency program. These brochures can be a helpful sales tool in showing your customer how to combine energy efficiency rebates and on-bill financing to pay for a project. Customers who are ready to apply for on-bill financing may complete the customer commercial credit application, or they can apply by phone. Now I'll turn it over to Bob from AFC First to give you more details about on-bill financing.
Thanks, Caitlin. So we're excited about this new program that started a couple of months ago. And just a quick overview about the on-bill financing in general for the small business. So the on-bill financing program allows small business customers to invest in various energy efficient improvements and to repay these funds directly on their utility bill. This is an opportunity for your customers to help them pay for their part of the project costs, and we think it's a great asset and tool to encourage energy-saving projects and improvements. This is a new program that was introduced in January of 2014 for the state of Illinois. It's a new tool for multifamily and small commercial customers of ComEd on the electric side and Nicor Gas and Peoples Gas and North Shore Gas on the gas side. So some benefits on the program. It's a low-rate, low monthly payment financing for lighting, HVAC, and other energy-saving improvements. Part of the point of the program is to help you drive your sales of small business energy efficiency improvements. It is no-cost financing for lighting, HVAC, and other energy-saving improvements. No cost to the contractor and no cost to the customer to apply. That's a great asset to you. And it works in conjunction with the utility energy saving incentive rebate programs by reducing or practically eliminating upfront costs. This is one of America's top financing programs for energy efficiency improvements. It is administered by AFC First Financial, that is us, and a little bit more about us in a slide or so. So the SBES is part of the Illinois Energy Efficiency Loan Program, also known as on-bill financing, which on the residential side is supported by ComEd, Nicor Gas, Peoples Gas, North Shore Gas, and also Ameren. So a little bit about AFC First. We've been around since 1947, but for about the past 15 years, all we've been doing is loans in the energy efficiency industry. As this slide shows you, it's contractor-driven, and what we do is we assist high-quality contractors and motivated and interested consumers to affordably install energy-related improvements. And now, as we said, this program is small business. We are venturing into that side as well. Quick program overview. Small business owners may be able to finance energy efficiency improvements. Basically, an easy way to remember that is projects that qualify for the utilities energy efficiency rebate incentive programs. If it qualifies for that, it qualifies for the program. With low cost, low payment on-bill financing through the Illinois Energy Efficiency Loan Program. The nuts and bolts of the program, it is a 5.99% unsecured fixed rate for the length of the term. That will never change. Loans are up to $20,000 per customer for electric and gas projects. So that's $20,000, up to $20,000 on the electric side and up to $20,000 on the gas side for a total of up to $40,000 potentially. 100% financing is available, no down payments required if you qualify, up to 10 years to repay, and the work must be done by a trade ally that has also become an AFC First approved contractor. That's an important point, I think, to make, that even if you are a trade ally, you must also become approved with AFC First, with us. So what properties and borrowers are eligible for this small business loan? Financing is available for small business owners who own, that's an important point, who own, not rent their buildings, and qualify for the SBEEP. All borrowers must meet credit approval criteria, which I will talk about in a slide, and have an active utility account at that building. The loans must be approved by us, AFC First, again, the program's lending administrator. And I think this is an important point. Please note that funding for each utility financing program is limited and subject to availability. So I think this is a good point that you can go out and talk to your customers about, that, hey, just sort of get them more interested and to do this sooner, that, hey, we don't know how long funds are going to be around for this program. So the loan underwriting criteria, I won't go through everything, but you can see what we look at, the requirements, and it varies depending upon the amount that's being borrowed. The length of time in business, personal guarantee if individuals own more than 20% of the business. The minimum credit score is the same for both, 640. The debt-to-income ratio of all personal guarantors is the same, 50% or below. 50% is the max debt-to-income ratio. And the last qualification, if income verification is required of all personal guarantors. So what improvements are eligible for the program? Electric measures, which are available through ComEd, Small Business Energy Savings Program. Natural gas saving measures, which are available through NICOR Gas. Qualifying boiler and furnace replacements, which are available through the Peoples and North Shore Gas programs. And projects must be approved by the utilities implementation contractor. So who may perform the work? Contractors who are authorized to do the work under SBES, SBEEP. And also, as I mentioned, you must be approved with AFC First, Illinois Energy Loan Contractors as well. I will now turn it back over to Caitlin Dorsey.
Now we'll walk through the process of getting a loan. The first step is for the customer to complete a loan application. Customers may fill out a paper loan application or apply by phone to be pre-qualified by AFC First. They'll need to provide the relevant utility account numbers, the trade ally company name, and the approximate amount they would like to borrow. This will also be reflected on the customer installation agreement or on-bill financing worksheet, which we'll look at a bit later. Both the trade ally and the customer will hear from an AFC lending specialist about their application within 48 hours. After the customer and trade ally are notified of the customer's pre-approval, AFC First will request a customer installation agreement or on-bill financing worksheet that has been pre-approved by the appropriate implementer for a rebate or incentive. When this documentation is received, AFC First will notify the customer and trade ally that work may begin and send loan documents for the customer to sign and return. After the customer completes and signs loan documents and work is finished, your customer will sign and return a completion certificate. AFC First will confirm that work is completed to the customer's satisfaction and then release payment to the trade ally within the next business day. The customer's loan payment will be added to their utility bill within the next 2 billing cycles. We encourage you to apply now to become an approved contractor with AFC First, so your projects will be eligible for on-bill financing. Requirements include a minimum of 3 years in business and a history of financial stability, satisfactory company and personal credit histories, a satisfactory Better Business Bureau rating, satisfactory customer and trade references, and an overall reputation for a high level of service and workmanship. Now I'm going to turn it over to Chris McCabe for a closer look at the process for submitting an on-bill financing project.
Thank you, Caitlin. These next handful of slides will focus on how on-bill financing will change the program process. And I'm here to tell you it really won't change the assessment process all that much. You'll be able to schedule assessments normally, You'll be able, while passing out the ComEd and or People's North Shore Small Business Co-branded marketing material, you can also provide the on-bill financing trifold brochure and inform the customer of the financing availabilities. If the customer is interested in on-bill financing, make sure they have the following information before applying: their gas and or electric utility account numbers, their preferred trade ally company name, and the approximate dollar amount that they would like to borrow from AFC First. Once the assessment has been completed, the customer can now apply for pre-approval. This can be done either over the phone or by mail. You can download the application at www.ilenergyloan.com, and the application contains the fax and mailing addresses that you can send the application into. Once pre-approved, the customer will complete the on-bill financing box on the customer installation agreement form or the on-bill financing worksheet. He or she can then send the completed customer installation agreement form or on-bill financing worksheet to the trade ally. Please remember, project work cannot begin until first approved by AFC First. These next couple of slides are examples of the customer installation agreement forms and on-bill financing worksheet that need to be completed and returned to your preferred trade ally. In the ComEd territory, contractors can apply for incentives on various types of lighting and or other electrical energy savings projects through the Small Business Energy Savings Program. To begin, the trade ally should select from the list of eligible energy saving recommendations the customer wants to proceed with, list the estimated total project cost, the incentive amount, the estimated customer cost, and the project identification number, which will be provided to you by the appropriate implementing contractor. After the customer is pre-approved for on-bill financing, they will initial the installation agreement form and enter the amount for which they have been approved for financing. In the Nicor gas territory, contractors can apply for gas savings rebates on new equipment through the Small Business Energy Efficiency Program. Similar to the ComEd Small Business Energy Savings Program, the trade ally should select from the list of eligible energy saving recommendations the customer wants to proceed with, list the estimated total project cost, the incentive amount, the estimated customer cost, and the project identification number, which again will be provided to you by the appropriate implementing contractor. After the customer is pre-approved for on-bill financing, again they will need to initial the installation agreement form and enter the amount for which they have been approved for financing. In the People's Gas and North Shore Gas territory, contractors can apply for furnace and boiler replacement rebates using the Small Business Energy Savings Prescriptive application, which features an on-bill financing worksheet. The trade ally should select from the list of eligible furnace and boiler replacements for which the customer is applying, list the estimated total project cost, the rebate amount, and then the estimated customer cost. Again, after the customer is pre-approved for on-bill financing, they will initial the worksheet and enter the amount for which they have been approved for financing. Once the customer has been pre-approved and has sent over the customer installation agreement form or on-bill financing worksheet to the trade ally, they will need to review and submit these forms to the appropriate implementing contractor. The implementing contractor will review and approve these forms and then submit them over to AFC First for their final approval. Again, to reiterate, project work cannot begin until first approved by AFC First. Once all project documentation has been sent in and approved by AFC First, they will send final loan documentation over to the customer for their signature. After the final loan documentation has been signed and returned to AFC First, they will contact the customer and trade ally to inform them that work can now begin. When work is finished, the trade ally must submit a completion certificate, which is supplied by AFC First. This form must be signed by the trade ally and the customer. AFC First will then follow up with the customer to ensure all work has been completed to the full satisfaction of the customer. Finally, once all correct paperwork is accepted by AFC First, payment will be released to the trade ally within the next business day via the automated clearinghouse. This loan amount will be added to the customer's utility bill within 1 to 2 billing cycles. And with that said, this should wrap up the on-bill financing program process. This next slide is a list of helpful resources which include the contractor application and checklist, the on-bill financing trifold brochure, and the customer credit application. As Caitlin mentioned, if you ever have any questions regarding the on-bill financing process, please don't hesitate to reach out to either your implementing contractors or AFC First. All of our contact information is listed on this slide. Again, we are always here to help. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time out of your day to learn about the on-bill financing options that are available to your small business customers.